Alright, so it's Friday, 8 o'clock, so you know what that means. It's another episode of Versus. I think this is what, week 3 now? Oh, by the way, while we on the subject, I want to give a big shout out to the big homie info, my little cousin, you know what I'm saying? Sean Goodwin out there, you know what I'm saying? It's his birthday today, you know what I'm saying? Shit, big ups, you know what I'm saying? It's the little homie right there. It's my little cousin, you know what I'm saying? Infamous, you know what I'm saying? Y'all holler at him. I know y'all boys, if y'all fuck with them games, that fucking Xbox, any of that shit, man, listen. I put my little cousin info on y'all, boy. Listen, that nigga serious on that shit, like on all that shit. You feel me? Like that's what's up. But on this week's episode, I also got to give a shout out to the big homie Money Food too, cause we had already shot this shit right a couple days ago, but my memory be fucking up, man, and some kind of way I lost it. The shit deleted itself or whatever. But he was the one came up with the discussion, with the topic, right? And it was Mickey Mouse versus Bugs Bunny. I was like, okay, yeah, you know what I'm saying? I could see that. So on this week's edition of Versus, we're gonna get into it. Mickey Mouse versus Bugs Bunny.
There's
Let's do
something
it.
wrong.
See y'all on the other side.
You don't know what it is, but it's there.
Nah, I definitely agree with that shit.
Right.
Damn, Beretta, man. Fuck. Bro, I know you got bicycle, man, but you gotta think sometimes. Shit. Some of this shit don't even call for. Bro, I was talking to my sucker on the wall. Listen, mirror on the wall. Who the really nigga in it?
Alright, cool. So let's start with this nigga Mickey Mouse, right? Cause I got to give Mickey his dues, right? I want to think. Obviously, I know Mickey came before Bugs. Mickey Mouse, I think Money Fool also pointed out that he came in 1928. I think it was Steamboat Willie, old time cartoon. I'm talking about black and white joints. You know what I'm saying? And he really kind of like set the foundation for what we know of now, animated cartoons. You know what I mean? But back then, I mean, it was like really some of the first animation to really hit TVs. Because you got to remember, back in those days, the radio was king back then. You know what I mean? TV was kind of a new thing. A lot of households didn't even have TVs. I mean, most entertainment, most information, most news, media, all that really was delivered through radio. So it really wasn't a whole lot of stuff for kids because it was geared to more adults and more important type information that needed to be disseminated throughout the nation, right? So I think that really kind of opened up a whole branch for entertainment somewhat. But Mickey Mouse definitely was one of the first. He set the stage. Um, and we can't get around this elephant in the room, right? So got to go put this out there, right? Mickey Mouse is a benefactor of one of the biggest platforms you could probably have, especially like when you're dealing with cartoons for kids. Mickey Mouse is the face of Disney. Now, before we even get into Disney as the channel or the movies or any of that, the first thing that comes to most kids' mind when they think of Disney is Disney World. Disney World. Well, over here in Florida, it's Disney World. I think if you were over in California, I think they should call Disneyland, but it's the same thing, same premise. I mean, the magical kingdom, all that shit, you know what I mean? Um, as a 90s baby, you feel me? Like, I could definitely remember Disney being one of the number one attractions that you got to go to that shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like, there's not a kid that doesn't want to go to fucking Disney World, right? And with that comes the perception. It's something about that fucking castle, right? That castle, for some reason, you just automatically assumes that that's Mickey Mouse's house. I mean, that's what I thought. I just always was of the mindset that this is where Mickey Mouse lives. So the reason why I'm pointing all of that out is because Mickey Mouse as a character, as an icon. Not to say that it's just because of Disney and Disney World, but it did play a big part in his popularity because those ears and that marketing, the way that they went about that, it's like you associate Disney World with Mickey Mouse. Even though later on down the line, Disney developed a hell of a lot of characters, got a hell of a lot of diversity. They went in so many different, like, you know what I mean? But Mickey Mouse is still considered the face of that organization, and that organization is a conglomerate. Them bitches is big. Like, I don't know if y'all pay attention to like entertainment and like just how companies are like expanding. Disney just bought up a bunch of shit. Like, Disney is not fucking around, man. They got deals and they stepping on throats of all these other competitors. I mean, you think of Disney as like a kid network, but the shit they doing on some business that's some rated R shit. Like, them bitches bought Fox. Them bitches got the whole Hulu shit. I mean, the motherfuckers ain't bullshit. You know, they got to deal with Marvel. So, long story short, Disney as a company is big time. So, with all of that being said, I think Mickey Mouse really did benefit a lot from that. Now, that's not taking away nothing from Mickey as a character. It's just when I think of Mickey Mouse, I think about so much other stuff other than Mickey Mouse. But what Mickey Mouse represents is a brand that is global, like economically, fucking shit. Like their supreme, their superiority is matched by. I'm trying to think of like who would I even put up there with them? Maybe like an Amazon or some shit like that. But if you just boiling it down to the character, I do think Mickey Mouse had a lot to do with that initiation, like that start off process. But like where they are now, I mean, even if you remove Mickey Mouse, they still gonna be like a dominant source. But like I say, Mickey had a lot to play with that, and plus, like I say, because of those ears, and it's very easily recognized. You know what I'm saying? It's like they did a really good job of making sure that that shit was seen by them. That every pair of eyes that was like between the ages of what I say about maybe 3 and fucking what 12, 13. And like I say, Disney World itself, they marketed themselves and they like fuck trying to target the adults, right? What we gonna do is we gonna target the children because the children they gonna make the adults. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like this. The adults, they see money, they see transportation, they see all the important shit. All kids do, they see Mickey Mouse, they see that castle, they see those ears, and they put on those puppy sad eyes and shit. And what parent ain't gonna take their kid to fucking Disney World? Like, to me, that was like the achievement. It's like, shit, going to Disney World, like, just to have a picture at Disney World, just to you, especially when you walk up through that Epcot, all that shit. So I do think Mickey Mouse really got a lot from that. Now, that's not to take away nothing from his cartoons because, like I say, that Steamboat Willie shit was like, ooh, a good bit of years out ahead before the rest of like Warner Brothers or any one of these other cartoons even kind of came up. So he had been holding it down for a while. So I will say Mickey Mouse is a very formidable opponent. Now let's discuss the one sitting across from him in this discussion, which would be none other than Bugs Bunny. Yeah, what's up, Doc? So now we discussing Bugs, right? When I say Bugs, I'm referring to Bugs Bunny, one of the original Looney Tunes, which I think that shit started in 1940s. Like I said, Mickey had it start in 1928, so that was a full, what I want to say, 12. I mean, I'm not the biggest math motherfucker, but I want to think it's like 12 years before Bugs, right? And in the other segment, I alluded to the fact that Mickey Mouse has Disney as a platform. Like, that is big. That is huge. Now, Bugs does not have Disney's platform. Warner Brothers is no slouch either. Now, don't get me wrong. Now, I don't want to make it seem like Warner Brothers is just some second-rate company or something. Like, them bitches big. Like, they got the HBO, the Time Warner, all of that, right? But, I mean, it's not Disney. Like, Disney is on some other shit. But, with all that being said, I said all that to make this point, right? Bugs, to me, I'm speaking for me now, Bugs has a charisma that transcends cartoon. I'm gonna tell you what I mean by that. When I think of Mickey Mouse, Mickey as a cartoon. When I think of Bugs Bunny, obviously he's a cartoon, but he's a cool motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Like, he just swagged out. He don't panic. He got a nice screen presence. He got a nice wit to him. Like, his comedy ain't like all the rest of those cartoons comedy, all that silly, goofy shit, just getting hit with shit, anvils and shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, he be thinking, you know what I'm saying? He made it cool to be smart, you know what I'm saying? He made it cool to, like, trick a bitch, you know what I'm saying? Like, he ain't rah-rah, hee-hee, ha-ha, like Daffy Duck and all of them. Like, he on from, like, he gonna roll with you, know what I'm saying? Shit, you hunt rabbits? Okay, cool, let's hunt rabbits. Like, he fucking with your mind, you know what I'm saying? It's like, he always was cool under pressure. And the reason why I was bringing up their platform is because I would make the case that just strength of character alone, Bugs, listen, in 1995 or 96, it was either or now, you know what I'm saying? I want y'all to look it up and be like, oh, he was either 95 or 96, one of them shits, Space Jam came out, you know what I'm saying? Now, at the time Space Jam came out, I want y'all to understand this, and if you don't believe me, look this up. I know a lot of you younger cats who probably was just babies when Space Jam came out don't understand the magnitude of what I'm going to say, right? But at the time Space Jam came out, Michael Jordan was the biggest star, like, I want to say in the fucking world. But for the sake of this argument, we're going to say at least the biggest black star, like, in America. You know what I'm saying? At least. He owned the 90s. Like, Michael Jordan was that deal. And I would make the case that when Space Jam came out, Bugs Bunny was just as popular as Michael Jordan. I mean, it might sound blasphemy. It may sound crazy to just, like, hear those verbs. But Bugs Bunny can hold his own, man. And even when you think of their contemporaries, like the other characters that's with him. I mean, Bugs do got some nice people with him. You got Daffy, Elmer Fudd, Foghorn Leghorn. I mean, fucking Wile E. Coyote and the Road Runner. Like, them motherfuckers held down their segment. Them bitches don't even talk, you know what I'm saying? And they was able to stay around for some years. But out of all of those, I don't think it's even close that none of them hold account to the Bugs. Like, Bugs sets apart from all of them, you know what I mean? When I think back to Mickey, right? Mickey was more of the door opener, more of the start off, you know what I'm saying? But, I mean, shit, Disney took off in so many ways that really ain't had nothing to do with Mickey, you know what I mean? What did Mickey have to do with The Little Mermaid? What did Mickey have to do with Aladdin? What did Mickey have to do with The Lion King, Mulan, you know what I'm saying? Toy Story, when they started working with Pixar and that whole live, like, none of that shit had nothing to do with Mickey. But the point that I'm making is like, that kept Disney growing. Disney kept expanding. And Disney, for some reason, you just associate Mickey Mouse with Disney. So the platform that Mickey's on is growing tremendously, but Mickey himself is just pretty much the face of it, right? So, I mean, when it comes down to the popularity, I could see how you wouldn't be wrong saying that Mickey is more popular, but he don't have as much charisma as Bugs. Because Bugs didn't held his own up against the biggest stars in the world. Even now, Bugs Bunny ain't even really, like, just for kids. Like, Bugs Bunny is just a symbol of a cool motherfucker. It's like, I fucks with Bugs. And like I was saying, right? I know that Mickey is just marketable because of Disney World. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you take away Disney World, like just pretend that it never was a Disney World, it was just the Mickey Mouse cartoons, just the Looney Tunes cartoons. I don't even think we having this conversation right now. I mean, I don't think there's no conversation to be had because like that shit wouldn't hold a candle to that shit. But they was doing shit that actually had to be censored. Like think about that shit, man. They shooting like headshots. They using dynamite. Like that shit was violent as hell. Like them Warner Brothers was on some other shit, right? But you know, I always give y'all these thought experiments too, right? I want y'all to do this. Take Mickey Mouse, right? And put Mickey Mouse on Warner Brothers, right? Without all the big platform. And does he stand out amongst all the other Looney Tunes? Or is he just another Yosemite Sam or just another Porky Pig? Now, with that same thought experiment, take Bugs Bunny, right? Put him on Disney, right? And I promise you, right? Disney probably be even fucking bigger. The same way you go to Disney World, you see those Mickey Mouse ears everywhere. Think about it, those with Bugs ears. You know what I'm saying? Fucking carrots everywhere. All the kids walking around talking about, what's up, dog? Like, that shit is a catchphrase that damn near every fucking child can recognize. So, as I look back on it, you know what I'm saying, and kind of summarize and bring it all up, it's like, when it comes down to popularity, that's a tough one because it's hard to separate the character's popularity from the popularity that they receive based on the platform that they're on. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't separate the two. I mean, I can't be neutral. I can't say Mickey Mouse without also including Disney World because Disney World played just as much of a part of Mickey Mouse success as his cartoons. A lot of kids might not even like remember a lot of his cartoons, but they gonna know him from Disney World. Like I said, I mean we had to look that Steamboat Willie shit up. I didn't remember that shit. You know what I'm saying? He got the House of Mickey or the House of some shit. I ain't remember that shit. You know what I'm saying? But I had to look that shit up. But when I think of Mickey Mouse, I think it's Disney World. And he's everywhere across that motherfucker, you know what I'm saying? So I know he's hella popular. Bugs, I ain't have to look shit up for Bugs. Bugs, like his cartoons stand out iconically. Like, so as far as rate them, I would have to rate them like this right here, right? If you talking popularity based on just how famous each one is, I'm probably gonna put Mickey just a little bit over Buzz because I know Disney is everywhere, and like Disney, they use him as the motherfucking, you know what I mean, as the face of the franchise. You know what I'm saying? Like the whole little wizard hat, the Mickey ears. So I'm gonna say he's probably in front of more faces than Bugs. But in almost every other category, I'm gonna say Bugs. And I don't even think it's tough. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna take this and y'all tell me what y'all think. And I'll see y'all next week on Verse.